All right, welcome to the Baseball Insiders Show presented by BCWSA. We're live from the Pines Tavern in Bristol, PA. First of 3 in a row, Tommy, here at the Pines Tavern.
Awesome.
Very excited about this.
I'm in for the chili.
Yep. We are in Bristol, PA. We are one block. If you actually look through the windows, Tommy,
you might be able
maybe
to see
between the houses, I think you can see the river right there. It's
yeah.
pretty cool. We're going to have some baseball on after this. We're going to have some football on after this. You can go down to come down here to the Pines Tavern. Tommy, you can get a cod father sandwich. That is fried cod, spring mix, house-made spicy honey mustard, which we're eating right here on a long roll. You can get the hot pepper pork sandwich.
Oh,
you
that's
get a
man.
Taylor burger with pork roll. I hope my cardiologist is not listening to this show right now.
You like spice? You know we got some Thai veggie soup. And, a little bit. Got
Thai veggie. I went with the French onion.
Oh, you went with French onion?
Maybe I should have gone the Thai veggie. All right, and
there's a lot of good stuff on here.
A lot of really good stuff
here. We can just talk about the menu all day.
Yeah, we've had the menu down here, and it's really good. So if you are in the Bristol area, please stop in and say hello. Tommy, we are going to talk about the week in Phillies baseball.
Yeah.
And thankfully, last night's win made the show a lot more palatable, right?
Yeah.
Because we are in a good mood. Things didn't look good after 4 innings.
No.
And we came back. So, Tommy, for the week, we've been on a roll.
We got a little fight.
I think the week
fight to us.
I think last week we were 5-1, right?
Something
I
like
think
that.
the week before that, maybe something like 5-1, 4-2.
This week, 4-2.
This week, 4-2. So very good week.
We're winning the week. That's what you want. We're putting pressure on the other ones to have to win out, basically.
Yes, we are. And we're going to talk about the week in Phillies baseball, including a sweep of the Rays. And what I love, Tommy, we'll get into all the games, but what I love most about, when you guys won the National League pennant in 1993, when the team won in 2008, when the team won in 1980. All right, when you have 1980, you had huge contributions from Marty Bystrom, from Greg Gross, from Del Unser.
Yes.
A lot of kind of the unsung guys,
yes.
right? Not just the superstars of Mike Schmidt and Pete Rose and Larry Bow, Greg Lazinski, Steve Carlton. You had the superstars, but you also had guys, the underrated guys, the Ron Reeds and the, in that. So when you go 2000, or we'll go chronologically. 1993, same thing. You guys had
3 platoons going.
Right. Exactly right. You had Mariona Duncan. You had, Izzy. You had Wes Chamberlain.
Yeah.
You had, on and on, right?
Yeah.
You had
Milton. Yeah.
Milt.
You had Milton, Inky, and they were part of those platoons.
Yeah, Ricky Jordan, who could fill in, very good at first base, right? I mean, you just had a lot of good, and then you also had, a lot of guys in the bullpen. We
had 5 guys in the bullpen that were pretty steady all year.
Right.
I mean, they really were. I mean, when you got 5 guys in the bullpen, you don't have. I mean, it can get thin, down there. And to start, with the rotation and stuff like that, we tended to pitch pretty deep in ball games. We had some complete games that year that kind of helped out the bullpen during the course of the year. But, when it gets late in the season like it is now, it's unbelievable.
Well,
but you need those contributions.
You need contributions from everybody. Then we go.
Everybody they bring up, if they have some call-ups, they're huge.
Then you go 2008, and you look at that magical season, both regular season and playoffs, obviously win the World Series. But you had Greg Dobbs. You had Eric, whatchamacallit? Eric, why am I blank on his name? Bruntlett. Thank you very much. You had guys like Clay Condrey. You had guys that stepped up, guys who weren't the star players.
Well, it's the next man up attitude.
Next man up, and you had Jeff Jenkins had that big hit.
Yeah.
So what I love about this week is that we've had a lot of guys banged up. Now we're starting to come back. We had JT came back yesterday.
Yeah.
Bohm's in the lineup today.
Yeah. We need to get some ABs.
Schwarber's back. But in the meantime, we've had to rely on a lot of guys that spend a lot of time in AAA. So this week,
one guy in between. I'm loving just the energy he's brought in. Talking about stepping up. I know where you're going.
Well, a lot of guys, because we had this week, and we'll get through the week. But you had Clemens, right? You had Cody Clemens, who had a huge week. You had Buddy Kennedy, who had a good week, right? You had
There's one in particular I'm thinking
Cal
about.
Stevenson.
Cal Stevenson, that's
who
the guy.
basically won 2 games for us.
Yes, he did. And catching a ball.
He
won it all.
He won 2 games for us, and then you can really say that Cody Clemens won a game for us. And then you also had a big contribution from and I feel great. I feel really good for this guy.
I'm so happy to see guys that get a chance like that. And
Taijuan
succeed.
Walker has, he'll be the first one to tell you he's had a bad season. He just struggled, and it's got to hurt because you want to contribute to a team that's best record in Major League Baseball, and he can't keep that, the fifth starting position. Yeah. He goes to the bullpen, he gets shelled in his 2 or 3 outings he's had. And then yesterday, I think Thompson had to go to him
because he showed up. He showed up yesterday, and it was a big. That was a big 3 innings.
He went 3 innings of scoreless, which allowed us to come back 4-1, 4-3 with Harper, and then that basically allowed us to go. Once we got to 4-3, we could go to our big boys in the bullpen.
That's a confidence booster for him. I mean, will he get the pitch? I mean, that much? Yeah, you don't know. You don't know, but you never know because he's been in the big leagues for a long time. And you got a guy that's been a major league pitcher for a long time. Your confidence can wane a little bit, but confidence is everything, man. You come and give this guy. He's got the belief, and he goes out there and sees himself do it again and contribute.
Yep.
Feels like he's contributing,
and
that's a huge thing.
And this is play. We're battling for division. We're battling for the the bye.
Yeah.
So this is a big moment. So if they can step up here. Who knows? Hopefully we'll get those contributions like we did in the playoffs with those guys that were lesser known back in the years. So, and I think a lot of it, Tommy, is we talked about this in other shows, but I think the atmosphere in the clubhouse, starting with the coaching staff, with Rob Thompson and with all the guys, Mike Calitri and Kevin Long and the coaching staff. And then you got the veterans, the Schwarbers, the Nolas. It's a very welcoming clubhouse. So when guys come in, and no offense to you guys, but when you had a guy come in from AAA,
like Brazer.
Let's say Cal Stevenson was coming into that AAA team or the 1993 team, right? That clubhouse, you had Macho Row.
You had the gauntlet.
You guys had a lot of fun, but it's got to be intimidating being a young player coming into that environment, right? So
it can be
right, but I'm not sure. Well, I don't think I'm sure it was welcoming, but a different way.
It's a rite of passage.
It's a rite of passage for you guys back then. But with these guys, it's like come on, join the fun.
Yeah.
You got Marsh and you got the daycare and you got all the guys really make you feel comfortable. That allows these guys to step in and not be overwhelmed by the big moment.
It's just like the play yesterday when Stevenson caught the ball over the wall.
Did you see the bullpen?
And saw the bullpen, but Castellanos comes all the way over. And that basically gives him a hug, and I mean, it's like it's that kind of welcoming.
There's that veteran
type thing.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a huge thing to make you feel like you belong, and that's a huge thing for a young guy or he might not be a young guy. I don't know. I can't remember Cal's
I think
age.
He's 28 or so.
Yeah, so he's been around a little bit, but still, it makes you feel welcome, like you belong there, and that's a huge thing as a ball player. If you feel like you belong,
right,
you can have success, dude. I mean, that's all. I mean. That's a huge thing.
Well, and now, again, this is a playoff atmosphere.
It's been huge hits. I mean, what he's done this week, it's been some huge hits
he's
got, man.
Same thing with Clemens and Buddy Kennedy. Buddy Kennedy had that big walk a couple of nights ago that allowed us to get to that situation where Clemens hit the game-winning hit.
Yeah.
Right? So
it's the little things, man.
And they both worked that at bat. I mean, he was down 2 strikes, and he fought to a walk, Buddy Kennedy. Same thing. It was a 3-2 count yesterday. And think about it. You had a guy second and third with 1 out, right? So Weston Wilson comes up. Wilson strikes out.
Yeah.
So now all of a sudden you got to pick up your buddy. You got to pick up Weston Wilson because he didn't do his job when it was when we were down.
Get a run.
When we're down a run. Now if we didn't come through there, if Cal Stevenson didn't come through there, that's a tough situation because you just blew a second and third with 1 out when you're just coming back, right? And you're down by a run. You had a prime opportunity. Well, this team won't do it, but you could think, wow, we just blew our shot. Are we going to get another one?
Yeah.
Well, this guy works a 3-2 count, and then he said he was waiting on the cutter because he had swung over a cutter. I guess for the second strike, he swung over a cutter, and Stevenson felt that a cutter was coming, and he barreled that ball.
Yeah,
I thought that might have been going out.
Well, it was down and in a little bit, and I mean, obviously a left-hander's sort of love zone, but the way he swung, he didn't try to do too much with that pitch. He just barreled it up. He hit it solid.
Yep.
And it was basically a line drive almost. I mean, onto the wall.
A rocket that went straight up into the top of the wall.
Yep. So.
But good to see. Again, good to see contributions from a lot of different players. And, I think Rob Thompson.
That was a big game yesterday.
It was a huge game.
There's a lot of things that happened, and you've already hit on them in that game that's going to help this, I think, because it's the next man up attitude. We've had some people banged up, and we still figured out ways to win. It might not have been pretty. We had some ugly games this week, but overall we figured out a way to have a winning week, and that's a huge thing.
We got out hit in the Rays
we
series.
We pitched well.
We had less hits in the Rays than we swept.
Those two games, we got beat up in. That makes your pitching staff look bad.
Yeah.
But there's some games we can give it at least two games I know of that we got like 5 hits in the game, and had one was that we had like 2 hits into the 8th. And it was unbelievable.
And the game last night, if we lose that game, and again, it looked bleak, 4-0 early.
Yeah.
If we lose that game, all of a sudden we're 5 games up on the Mets. We got a game today. We could go down 4 up.
Yeah.
And then we've got Milwaukee for 3, and then New York for 4.
Yeah.
I mean, all of a sudden the confidence and momentum, just everything kind of swings one way. Well, again, thankfully we have Bryce Harper hits 2 home runs.
Yeah.
Thankfully Cal Stevens come through. Thankfully our bullpen came through, including Taijuan Walker. And now we're looking at a 8-game lead with 14 games left. So it looks like that was basically it looked like that was the icebreaker for the deal breaker for the division.
Yeah.
Now it's kind of now again stranger things have happened.
Well,
but
we still got to win.
But
if we take care of today. That's why we look for it. Don't get ahead of yourself.
Don't get ahead of it. But
we
again,
we can get ahead, but they can't.
8 games, with 14 should be a lock for that. Now, what's more important though, we don't want to play that wild card game.
No.
And right now we are. If you look at the standings right now, we are 89 and 59. Again, 14 games left. We have a 3-game lead over Milwaukee, and I think we have the tiebreaker right now. But we got 3 games against them coming up.
Yeah.
We are 2 games ahead of the Dodgers.
Yeah.
We have the tiebreaker with them because of our series with them. So if we finish tied with either the Brewers, so really we're 4 games. 80. So we're 3 games above the Dodgers, considering that tiebreaker.
Yeah.
And we are 4 games ahead of Milwaukee since we had the tiebreaker. But again, we play Milwaukee Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, which could swing things. So right now, the best record in baseball, 89-59. You can't say enough about this team. We are 1 win away from 90. And right now,
they've been through some adversity. That's what this year. It's not like he's been hunky dory. He had a lot of injuries they've had to overcome to key guys. And it's just a credit to the next man up, the guys coming up, and to the organization, having the guys in the organization come up here and done what they've done. So.
And also just we want to avoid that wild card round because right now San Diego would take that top spot. Right now Arizona would take the 2nd spot. But they're only up by a game on New York and Atlanta.
Yeah.
Right? So most likely we could, if somehow Milwaukee and LA overtakes us, both of them, then we're looking at a first-round match against either the Braves, the Mets, Diamondbacks, or possibly the Padres. I don't think you want to face the Braves with Chris Sale. Now, again, it looks like Lopez, I don't know how injured he is.
I think he's pretty banged up.
Yeah, but still, you got Sale in a 3-game series.
Yeah.
Right? You don't want to. You got to get Sale.
Yeah.
Arizona is playing hot, and we saw what they did to us last year.
Yeah.
And San Diego's starting to get healthy again, and they're on fire.
San Diego is
they got
the
Tatis back.
Is the guy people you're working with, because you look at the numbers and what they've done throughout most. The second half.
Yep.
They played, man, and they're starting their pitchers are starting to come together. Right
Those
there.
3 teams, San Diego, Arizona, and New York Mets, have been the hottest teams since the All-Star break in the National League.
Yes, it's been unbelievable.
Yeah, so we don't want to. We want to get to the division series, play them in a best of 5, I think that is.
Yeah.
And then get to the NLCS against whoever, against the Dodgers or.
Yeah.
But again, we're not going to need that 5th starter for. I think we have 2 more opportunities for that 5th starter. So we'll see.
We'll have to see, the way it looks on do they have any off days?
Not sure. Well, let's go. We'll go through that when we come back.
Okay.
All right, Tommy. Coming up, we'll talk about the schedule. We'll talk about the week in baseball. Let's start off with a sweep of the Rays when we come back. You listen to the Baseball Insiders Show presented by BCWSA. We are live from the Pines Tavern in Bristol, PA.
Generation Z members and millennials with young families. If you're looking for a great place to dine and watch all your favorite sporting events and you can't afford Center City restaurant prices, then settle back at the Pines Tavern in Bristol Borough. This is the place to take your family, including your children, for affordable, top-quality food, including their homemade meatloaf, pan-seared chicken breast, or their fish and chips, and plus many other dinner options. The Pines Tavern also has great sandwiches, like their South Philly pork or their Angus burgers. Multiple TVs to watch all your favorite sporting events, and check out their Facebook page for live entertainment. The Pines Tavern, here yesterday, here today, and proud to serve the next generation of families at the fork in the road of Radcliffe Street in Bristol. Open 7 days from 11:30 a.m. and Sundays from noon.
This is Tommy Greene from the 1993 National League champion Phillies. And here's the pitch. BCWSA water and sewer customers, you have a new and improved option to pay your bill that's convenient, reliable, and secure. Powered by Invoice Cloud, you can pay your bill 24/7 online, pay by text or phone, or sign up for AutoPay to avoid fees for late or missed payments. Visit bcwsa.net to sign up or for more info. That's bcwsa.net. BCWSA, proven.
At Penn Community Bank, we're in the business of building thriving communities. That means breaking down the barriers to home ownership, supporting fair, affordable access to housing from Philadelphia to the Lehigh Valley, like our Home Opportunity Mortgage that empowers eligible borrowers with no minimum credit score, no down payment, access to grant programs, and so much more. Visit PennCommunityBank.com/home for more details. Penn Community Bank. Here we grow. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender. Account and feature terms, restrictions, and conditions apply.
Energy costs are skyrocketing. Now is the time to upgrade your old heater and air conditioning systems to more efficient units to save on your utility bills. Harris Comfort can also handle all your propane needs, as well as providing sales and service on whole house generators. Harris Comfort is still family owned and has been serving our area for over 60 years, providing sales, service, installation, and peace of mind. Call 215-788-4596 or go to harriscomfort.com. Harris Comfort, still family and still local. With over 7,200 square feet of 200 brewers in stock at all times, Pat Dion Beverages now features 5 different flavors of their favorite slushy cocktails. You can also purchase all your wine, liquor, and other fine spirits right next door. Visit us on Facebook or online at patdionbeverages.com for upcoming events and samples from your favorite brewery or local food vendor.
We now return to the Baseball Insiders Show, presented by BCWSA. Once again, here are your hosts, Phillies Director of Fun and Games, John Brazer, and former pitcher from the 93 National League champion Phillies, Tommy Greene.
All right, we are back to the Baseball Insider Show, presented by BCWSA. We're live from the Pines Tavern in Bristol, PA. I'm John Brazer, joined by my co-host Tommy Greene, Chris Ermer on the board, and you can watch the show live at WBCBsports.com or search WBCB Sports on YouTube, or you can listen to the show on 1490 WBCB and 107.3 FM, your station in Bucks, Burlington, and Mercer County. And Tommy, consider a career at Septa.
I have.
Septa is hiring a variety of skilled trade positions, including mechanics, electricians, plumbers, masons, painters, carpenters, welders, millwrights, and more. As a Septa employee, you'll earn competitive compensation, great benefits, including medical, dental, prescription, and a pension. Visit jobs.septa.org to apply today. That's jobs.septa.org. All right, so Tommy, if we're going through the week, baseball.
Yeah.
Again, I said this last time. Our Sunday record can't be very good, right? Because I feel like we've start off the show a lot with losses.
Yeah.
Right.
And this was I didn't even print that paper off.
We'll talk about it very quickly because once again, our 5th starting position, which we're having trouble finding, we're still having trouble even yesterday, finding someone to step up. Whether it's Taijuan Walker, whether it's Tyler Phillips, whether it's Seth Johnson, who pitched last Sunday. What's that? Colby Allard, who actually had a couple good outings.
Yes.
And then went on the DL, and then, last night couldn't find his – and actually the thing about Colby Allard was that usually location's not the problem. It's more just, getting it over the middle of the plate. Well, last night he had some control issues.
Yeah.
Which we'll get into.
Well, if
but
you're banged up a little bit, I mean, you're coming back and trying to. I mean, it's the first thing you command. You know, you're trying to find it.
Well, Seth Johnson we got in the trade for Soto to from the Baltimore Orioles, and Seth Johnson was the international pitcher of the month for Lehigh Valley. Had a really good month.
The situation,
and so
I think, got him a little bit.
We thought maybe, hey, we got it. We found our guy. You know, again, we've got probably 2 more starts with using the 5th starter. But Seth Johnson was not that guy because he allowed 9 runs.
Yeah.
8 hits in 2 1/3 innings.
Yeah.
Stubbs did better in the 8th inning. Pitched a scoreless 8th.
How about Stubby, man?
How about that, Stubby?
You got to have that sometimes, you know, when to save your pitching staff there at the end, because you know you can't. You got to have somebody that can step up and just go strikes, and it just shows you.
Yeah, Colby. Well,
that just shows you the game, how the game is. Don't think too much.
Right. Just throw it over.
Hitters tend to get themselves out.
Now,
so if if you're walking guys, you're digging, you're dragging dirt in on yourself.
Now, if Stubbs pitched,
if
Stubbs pitched 7 innings, that might be a little different. But now the good news is Harper had 2 hits, which might now again an RBI single in the 9th. Yeah. Now maybe that carries over to the week because again we talked about a good week.
Yeah.
All right, Monday was one of the most exciting. The whole series with the Rays was playoff atmosphere. It really was.
Rays can pitch, man.
Rays can pitch. They're not great offensively. In fact, I think they're the worst in runners in scoring position. Like they're historically bad runners in scoring position, but their pitching is really good.
Yeah.
So Monday again had
another game with 5 hits.
Right.
we got
right. So, and it was what a great game. So it was basically a pitching duel. Sanchez pitched 6 shutout innings.
Yep.
Was really good.
Yeah, real good.
Really good. So then, basically it's scoreless, and until Schwarber gives the lead in the 6th with a home run. Okay. So we were up 1-0. We're carrying that into the 9th. All of a sudden, the top of the 9th, Brandon Lowe comes up, and we have Estevez pitching.
Yeah.
He hits a ball. Rojas goes back against the wall.
How about that?
Catches it. His arm already caught it in the web. His arm hits the top of the wall, and that basically jars it loose.
Falls
and
over.
The ball fouls out.
Falls over for a home run.
And the whole building went, ooh. And Rojas just sat down and had his hands in his head going, what just happened right there? Right? I mean, your stomach just drops right there. But 9th inning, 1-1. Lesser teams would let that get to him.
Yep.
Right? But in the 9th inning, Harper singles. Stott reaches on an infield single. And there were some outs. Now there's 2 outs, and there's a guy in first and second. Buddy Kennedy, whose grandfather is Don Money.
Yeah.
Don Money
was one of my guys back in the day.
Don Money
used to watch pitch.
Started the first game of the Vet. I think he might have had the first home run at the Vet.
Yeah.
A recent bull session guest. Yeah. Look, that's good knowledge there, Chris Irmer over there. All right, so Buddy Kennedy was getting cheers. Buddy. And Buddy Kennedy, again, had 2 strikes on him, and he gutted out a key walk. Okay, so now we got bases loaded, 2 outs. Crowd is nuts. I'm in the stands.
Wild pitch can score. I mean,
anyway, yeah. I'm in the stands. The crowd just, if it was playoff atmosphere. Cody Clemens hits a ball right in between, just past the second baseman who was scooted over towards first base and just past first base. And it found its way, but he made contact. And that's what I'm saying. You make contact.
Put a ball in play.
Put a ball in play. You never know what happens. And sure enough, boom.
Those are the type of games you want to win, man.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a 2-1 ball game and a well-pitched ball game
like that. And that's where you're going to get in the playoffs. Now, Kirkring, again, this bullpen is setting up very nicely with everyone.
Can't say enough about the bullpen right now.
Can't say enough. Kirkring had a 1-2-3 7th. Hoffman worked out of a jam. He had a jam, worked out of a jam in the 8th inning. Caminero with runners on first and third with 2 outs, and he struck a guy out.
Yeah.
So it was really good. And then the only negative part of this, which I think again, you have a manager like Rob Thompson that nips potential controversies in the bud.
Yeah.
And I know Barkane was trying to create was trying to really create
You reckon Michael Barkhead doesn't do that?
I love Michael, but he was all over Harper. Come on, man. We won the game. Harper knows it. He talked to Rob Thompson.
Yeah.
He knows what he did.
Yeah.
And he thought he hit the ball out, and he didn't go out the ball, and he only got a single instead of a double.
What they say about assumptions?
Right. Yeah. You should now. And he's the first one to know. He's frustrated. He hasn't had a home run. He thought that was gone. I'm not giving an excuse for him, but at the same time, Rob dealt with him. He acknowledged it. Move on. So, but that game right there, I mean, you can't say enough.
No, you cannot. I mean, you battle, and it's well pitched. Everybody's they're fighting there to the end. It's sort of a take a blow and give a blow back type thing, and that's a good pitchers. That's
you're
going to
see those. You're going to see those games in the playoffs again.
I hate the 12-10 games and stuff like that, slugfest all the time. Fans like them, but as a player, I like there's one swing of the bat makes a huge difference.
But you know what I like about this team too, Tommy, is that all right? Let's say Kirkering in that Monday game, has 1, 2, 3, 7th. Hoffman comes in, works half jam, and then I said Estevez finishes, right?
Yeah.
So let's say the next day, and let's say it's playoffs. We have a back-to-back game. And let's say those guys can't go for whatever reason, right? Well, then let's say Nola goes 6 innings, and now you need a 7th, 8th, and 9th, but you've got Kirkering, Hoffman, and Estevez aren't available. Well, Rob Thompson can turn to, depending on lefty-righties, can go to Matt Strom, can go to Alvarado.
Yeah, and
right?
He's been pitching well too, man.
Can even go probably would start with like a Ruiz if that's the case.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, in the 6th.
Start with on the 7th. Start Ruiz in the 7th, and then again those guys are good against lefties and righties. So you got Alvarado. So now you really have 6 guys.
Alvarado is one of those guys that's about the confidence going into this,
right?
And he's starting to
he's feeling it right now.
He's feeling it.
I think anytime Alvarado gets time off. Remember last year he sent him down to the minors and he came back just in fuego.
Well, he come out with an attitude, because he wanted to prove to himself. This time's a little bit different because he might have had some stuff that was weighing on him. And he finally got it off of him.
So exactly right. We don't know what was going on. So all right, let's do through Tuesday, and then we'll take a break on Tuesday night. It started off great, just like this is the 14th time it started off great because Schwarber set a major league record with his 14th leadoff home run of the season. It's his 45th of the career, and 32nd with the Phillies. 35th home run?
Yep, I think so. Yep.
And then our man, Cal Stevenson, hits a tie-breaking 2-run double in the 8th.
Dude, I can't be happier for that little guy, man.
I mean, seriously.
He's a little gamer.
He is a little gamer.
He plays some defense.
And Cal Stevenson has been around. I mean, he's been with Tampa. He's with a bunch of teams, the A's, and he's bounced around, but he's been cut. Well, I'll tell you exactly, Chris.
I'm looking it up now.
I'm glad you asked me that, Chris, because it's almost like you had this set up. Okay, Cal Stevenson is 28 years old.
He was drafted.
He has never spent.
Go ahead. He was drafted with the Blue Jays back in 2018.
Yes, he's never spent more than 25 consecutive days on a major league roster. He was traded 3 times in 4 years before ever appearing in a major league game. He was designated by assignment twice before landing with the Phillies in May of 2023. The Phillies even designated him for assignment 6 days later, marking the 3rd time he was sent through waivers. But that time he went unclaimed, thankfully, and he stayed in the minor league system. And then he was brought up. He's got very good bat-to-ball skills, as you saw, and he's fast, and he's got good defense, as we saw. So sometimes you just gotta, again, take the. Well, okay.
Well, you look at his stats. I mean, this is his minor league stats. Not like he did. I mean, he hit 280, 285, 255, and this year 302 down in the minor league.
And he's fast. He's got stolen bases from.
And he can play some defense out there.
Yes.
Yeah.
So he's a very valuable team. You don't know who's going to step up, and he's stepping up. This game also was good to see Trey Turner, not slump, but he was kind of just scuffling a little bit. He had two-run home runs, which is great to see.
That, man?
And how about Rob Thompson? He had Stevenson hit for Rojas in that key, 2 men on in the 8th inning.
Yeah.
And he drove a 2-2 changeup from Uceta. Now, Uceta had given up 6 hits in 60 innings.
Yeah, it's like
six hits in 60 innings, and he gave up 4 in the 8th. And
he
again,
turned into a little whiner on the mound.
He did. Well, Turner had the 2-run home run, Harper double, and Castellano comes up, and Castellano gets nailed. bench is clear, which is great to see. And then Alvarado
That
pitches.
didn't do nothing but wake people up.
Yeah, wake people. Well, you'll see the next day. But Castellanos, Alvarado, perfect eighth with 2 Ks, looked great. And, Suarez, we'll talk about Suarez. Suarez did not have his stuff, but they didn't crush him. They had 12 hits. They just nickel and dimed him.
That's what I'm thinking. I say to that, Brazer, you look at him, he gave up 12 hits, and he got into the 6th inning.
Yeah.
So that means he's having to pitch with men on. He's pitching in a situation right now. Sometimes you need those type of games to get to fight through stuff.
Exactly right.
And he fought through it and kept, and we were right there. And we won the ball game. Ended up doing what we needed to do.
Right.
Scoring a lot of runs late, which is huge.
And another big game coming in late, which is good. All right, coming up on the show, we'll continue to talk Rays. Then we'll get into the Mets series. A lot of stuff to talk about there. Other unsung Lehigh Valley heroes, but they're not Lehigh Valley. They're Philadelphia Phillies heroes. You're listening to the Baseball Insider Show presented by BCWSA. We are live from the Pines Tavern in Bristol, PA.
BCWSA customers, former Phillies pitcher Tommy Greene here. I played on the 1993 National League champs, so I know a thing or two about what it's like playing on a winning team. BCWSA has all the ingredients. They make it easy for their customers to get automatic updates by text, email, or phone anytime there is a disruption in your service area. You can even customize your alerts by going to bcwsa.net. That's bcwsa.net. BCWSA, your partner for a safer environment. BCWSA, proven.
Generation Z members and millennials with young families. If you're looking for a great place to dine and watch all your favorite sporting events and you can't afford Center City restaurant prices, then settle back at the Pines Tavern in Bristol Borough. This is the place to take your family, including your children, for affordable, top-quality food, including their homemade meatloaf, pan-seared chicken breast, or their fish and chips, and plus many other dinner options. The Pines Tavern also has great sandwiches like their South Philly pork or their Angus burgers. Multiple TVs to watch all your favorite sporting events, and check out their Facebook page for live entertainment. The Pines Tavern, here yesterday, here today, and proud to serve the next generation of families at the fork in the road at Radcliffe Street in Bristol. Open 7 days from 11:30 a.m. and Sundays from noon.
Head out to Dion Square, located at South Oxford Valley and South Olds Boulevard, to get all your essentials in one place, with the following businesses ready to serve you: Pat Dion Beverages, CVS Pharmacy, Hair Cuttery, Smile Culture Dental, Biomat, Liberty Auto Tags, Pennsylvania Fine Wine and Spirits, Lee's Hoagie House, R&J Smoothies and Juices, AutoZone, and First National Bank and Trust of Newtown. Make Dion Square your one stop for all your shopping needs at South Oxford Valley Road and South Olds Boulevard in Fairless Hills.
At Penn Community Bank, our commitment to helping our customers and communities grow and thrive drives everything we do. Whether you are just starting out or setting new goals, we have the checking solutions that can flex to your needs at any life stage. And for a limited time, you can earn a $300 cash bonus for opening a qualifying new checking account with direct deposits in the first 60 days. Visit penncommunitybank.com/cash bonus to learn more. Penn Community Bank, here we grow. Offer terms and conditions apply. Limited time offer subject to change. As for full details, member FDIC.
Energy costs are skyrocketing. Now is the time to upgrade your old heater and air conditioning systems to more efficient units to save on your utility bills. Harris Comfort can also handle all your propane needs, as well as providing sales and service on whole house generators. Harris Comfort is still family owned and has been serving our area for over 60 years, providing sales, service, installation, and peace of mind. Call 215-788-4596 or go to harriscomfort.com. Harris Comfort, still family and still local. With over 7,200 square feet of 200 brewers in stock at all times, Pat Dion Beverages now features 5 different flavors of their favorite slushy cocktails. You can also purchase all your wine, liquor, and other fine spirits right next door. Visit us on Facebook or online at patdionbeverages.com for upcoming events and samples from your favorite brewery or local food vendor.
We now return to the Baseball Insider Show, presented by BCWSA. Once again, here are your hosts, Phillies Director of Fun and Games, John Brazer, and former pitcher from the 93 National League champion Phillies, Tommy Greene.
We are back to the Baseball Insider Show, presented by BCWSA, live from the Pines Tavern, Bristol, PA. I'm John Brazer, joined by my co-host Tommy Greene, Chris Ermer over here, and Tommy Greene still laughing at my title.
Oh, I do. It just trips me out every time.
That's great.
You are the guy for that title too, by the way.
Oh, I appreciate that, T to Green. T, consider a career at Septa. Septa relies on and needs bus operators, train engineers, conductors. As a Septa employee, you'll earn competitive compensation, great benefits, including medical, dental, prescription, and a pension. Visit jobs.septa.org to apply today. That's jobs.septa.org. All right, Tommy. So we have playoff atmosphere. We won Monday on a walk-off Cody Clemens.
Yeah.
Right? We won Tuesday on Schwarber, Turner, a lot of heroes.
A lot of power.
But, our man Cal Stevenson really with a big
Dude,
one.
he had 6 ABs for the week.
And
he
then,
got in. He had 4 ribbies.
Yeah.
He had 4 ribbies and 2 doubles.
Yep.
And 3 hits. He had 3 hits, and 2 of them were doubles, and scored 4 runs. And it's unbelievable.
And
what a great time.
And then
for him.
how about this one on Wednesday? I think some of these guys that spent a lot of time in AAA were feeling left out. So Weston Wilson, Now how about this one? When I say we, Tom Burgoyne and myself.
Yeah.
Tom and I do a podcast backstage.
He's old North Carolina boy, ain't he?
He is backstage at Burgoyne and Brazier, and we had Weston Wilson on that day. We had him on that day, and Weston Wilson from North Carolina drove in the tie-breaking run.
Yes, he did.
Now, it was a swing and bunt, but it doesn't matter.
Hey.
A hit is a hit. He got it.
Hey, that's a line drive in the book.
But he got it down the third base line with 2 outs in the 6th to give us that 3-2 lead, which ended up sticking. And Weston Wilson, who it was his birthday that day.
Oh, hey. Well, how about that?
Yep. Weston Wilson does it. Now, other stars of that game, Castellanos, now his first at bat. So he gets plunked the night before by Septa.
Yeah.
Right? And what does he do? His first at bat, he puts the Phillies up in a 2-0 lead.
Yeah,
with
right
a
out of
2-run
bed.
home run.
Yeah, right out of bed.
How about that? All right, take that, Mets. Take that, you Septa. And then Wheeler. If this is the Wheeler we get in playoffs, oh man, look out of the teams because struck out 9 batters over 6 innings.
Yeah.
Wilson had to replace Schwarber in the lineup due to elbow discomfort.
He gave up. Was it a 2? No, he gave up a solo homer, right? Wheeler did,
Yep.
right? Okay.
But also another guy, AAA, Aramis Garcia, our catcher.
Yeah.
How about him?
Oh, he played. I mean, he
made
called pretty
some
good back there,
key
man.
defensive plays,
Yeah.
including throwing a runner out in a key situation. So I'm telling you, man, it's so good to see.
I heard we had some pretty good
all
catchers
these
down
guys.
in the
We
minor
do,
leagues. Yeah.
and we got some real young ones too.
Yeah. So, those
the-
are hey, you can get a lot of. Well, you got a good catcher, so like Hoppy.
Yes, and look what
Look
we got.
at
from
what
Hoppy.
he's
We got
doing.
Mark.
Yes, I mean, they're catchers are valuable, man.
Very
especially
valuable.
if they can call a ball game and the defensive skills is that, and it's just a plus to have somebody like Hoppy and the offensive skills come along with it. So
Exactly right.
So.
So then So when Castellanos hit that home run, again a 2-run shot in the first, it was his 20th home run. It was the 6th time in his career that he's reached that mark, 20 home runs.
Yeah.
And it was his first at bat. Wheeler, as I said, 6 innings pitched, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, 9 Ks. And then you can't say enough about the bullpen because
another goose eggs, man.
the bullpen, phenomenal. Strom, Alvarado, Estevez, scoreless.
Yes, scoreless.
And
Last
you know
3
what?
innings.
And this is what you'd said before. We had won a couple nights earlier with 5 hits. We had 5 hits this game.
Yeah.
And
I told you. And it's not like we've knocked the cover off a ball. We've had a game where we had some big things, big blows, but that's all it was, and that type thing, So.
Well, then Thursday we have a day off, so we sweep the Rays. Thursday day off. Friday, the crowd is buzzing because it's the Mets coming town. The Mets and the Phillies are never good at the same time.
I didn't
right?
print that paper off either, by the way.
Mets and the Phillies are never good at the same time. It's probably happened like 6 times in the history of their career in their baseball in Major League Baseball.
Yeah.
Where the Mets, if you remember 2007, we were down 7 games with 17 left and we caught them, and I'm sure they're still upset at that one. So the Mets come in. There wasn't as many Mets fans as in the years past.
Yeah.
Because I think all the Phillies fans with season tickets are buying the tickets, but you still saw, the ugliness of the Mets fans. And you know what? It was an ugly game because we got pummeled 11-3. was not good. Nola did not. Nola actually was fine in the beginning.
He pitched, until the fifth inning.
Until the fifth inning, and then he gave
up.
up.
What did he say? The wheels on the bus.
Yeah, and he gave up two 2-run home runs. Now,
no, it was 3-run homers.
Yes, you're right. 2 3-run home runs.
I think so.
It was.
See, that's the thing about pitchers. We don't mind giving up home runs.
Yeah,
if it's
solo.
But see, his tendency have been he's given us 2 and 3 runs, and when you start giving up the big ones, 3 runs, you knock yourself out of ball games quick.
And I believe it was breaking balls that he didn't have, and also that
he didn't have the snap.
I was behind the home plate for a good part of the game, and the umpire had a strike zone the size of this bowl of French onion soup, which is very good, by the way. So he was getting squeezed, but the other, both pitchers were getting squeezed.
Yeah.
But Quintana was unbelievable. 3 hits, 7 shutout innings, and again, Noel gave up 2 3-run home runs. Lazar also gave up a 3-run home run.
Yeah.
And
that's basically all your runs.
And Clemens gave up a home run, so it was just not. And Phillies only had 4 hits, so not good. So then we go into Saturday, Tommy.
Yeah.
Yesterday, which we needed this win. We talked earlier.
Yeah.
You'd lose this game, all of a sudden, Mets are 5 games back.
Everybody's getting uncomfortable. We have to deal with
Barkan. This game's a must win. Right, it's a must win. And then you get the Mets fans getting all snarky.
I got to deal with Billy Swaim too. Yeah, another guy that's Mr.
Yeah, you got to talk some of these people off the ledge.
Yeah,
including myself. So Saturday,
I forgot about you, Brazer.
Don't forget about me. Put me right in there.
I've seen you producing pacing around the ballpark.
And Saturday we've got a 4:00 game, and Colby Allard, our 5th starter, is on the mound, the latest 5th starter to try it, and he gives up. That was in the first inning. He got 2 outs, but then walk.
Oh,
walk. I think it was basically.
Dude,
it was brutal. He couldn't locate his fastball.
He walked 3 guys. So
the only thing he could get over was a changeup, but that's not good because then they sit on the changeup and then you're done. In the 3rd inning, so
you put freebies on, you're asking for trouble.
He got out of it giving up 1 run, but then the 3rd inning he gave up a double to Vientos, single to Nemo. Vientos scores on an error. Marte tripled. It's 4-0, and now things are looking bleak. Now you're thinking like, all right, is Rob Thompson going to just keep him out there to save the bullpen because we need the game Sunday, right? But he says, you know what, I'm going to go to Walker. Now, some people are saying, oh, God, the game's over. Walker's coming in. Well, this is his former team. He pitched against the Mets, so he does know these guys. And he came in the 4th, and you know what? We said earlier, it's good that guys are contributing because Walker really hadn't contributed much. And here he is. He comes in the 4th, shuts down the Mets 3 innings. He gave up 3 hits, 0 earned runs. And then
he didn't walk anybody. He didn't push nobody out. But, hey, we needed those 3 innings from him so bad to give us a possibility to chip away and get back into that ball game.
You're exactly right because then the bottom of the 4th, Harper breaks his home run streak. He hadn't hit a home run since August 9th. So he came close a bunch of times, as we talked about. But and that broke the dam a little bit, 4-1, right? So all of a sudden we get a little momentum, right?
A little juice going.
And all of a sudden he gets up. Severino stays in the game. And
he's dirty, too. He's got some good stuff,
He does. And he golfed a 2-run shot off Severino. When he hit a low pitch, just went.
A little cutter, I think.
So now it's 4-3. Now the crowd is back. And more importantly, too, well, that's important, but very important is that we can set up the bullpen now. Because that was the 6th. Now all of a sudden you can go to your big guys.
Yeah.
Because you're only down a run.
Yeah.
And that's what we did. Kirkering came in.
Yeah.
Shut him down.
Can't say enough about him, too, what he's done over the course of this season. Quietly, too.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, it's been more quietly.
He went through a little rough stretch, and then to start the 7th, we talked about this, was Stott and Real Muto single to start the 7th. Marsh sacrificed, bunt, great bunt, got them to 2nd and 3rd. Wilson struck out, and Cal Stevenson gets to a 3-2 count, and we said he took that 92-mile-per-hour cutter right to the wall, gave him the first lead of the game.
I was so happy for him. I mean, for a guy to come in and have success, this is a journeyman.
And then Hoffman, Hoffman appeared to give up that tying home run, and Stevenson robs it, makes an unbelievable
Smallest
catch.
guy jumps over the wall.
Yep. So what a game that was. And let me just tell you, too, Tommy, it is time now for the Smart Stat of the Week, brought to you by Payroll Service Solutions. Call them today at 1-866-PAY-EASY. That's 1-866-PAY-EASY. All right, Cal Stevenson, he collected his 2nd go-ahead hit of the season and of his career in the 7th inning or later. He also had multiple hits in a game for the second time in his career. It was the Phillies' 34th comeback win of the season, which in these big seasons you need that.
You got to be able to do it. You never say die. You got to be able to come back.
Bryce Harper recorded the 28th multi-home run game of his career and the 3rd this season. He now has 150 home runs with the Phillies in 713 games. He is the 4th fastest Phillies player in terms of games played to hit 150 home runs. Only Ryan Howard at 495, Chuck Klein 593, and Mike Schmidt 690 did so faster. He also snapped his 29-game streak without a home run in games in which he had at least one at bat in the 4th inning. It was the second longest such streak of his career, trailing his 38 straight games without a homer back in 2023. He had gone 113 consecutive at-bats without a home run. Also, Schwarber recorded his 100th walk of the season. He's the first Phillies player since Bobby Abreu to have at least 2 consecutive seasons with 100 more walks and 100 more runs scored. The only other players in Phillies history with multiple such seasons besides Schwarber and Abreu are Mike Schmidt, Roy A. Thomas, and Billy Hamilton. And then finally, Kerkering. We talked about Kerkering. He's gone 11 straight appearances without allowing an earned run. During that stretch, he has a 0.55 whip. He's only had 4 hits, 2 walks, and he's limited hitters to a 108 average, 4 for 37. That's getting it done.
That's getting it done, Brazer.
And that was your Philly Smart Stat of the Week. Once again, brought to you by Payroll Service Solutions. Call them today at 1-866-PAY-EASY for the smart choice in payroll services. Call them again at 1-866-PAY-EASY. All right, coming up on the show, we will get you set up for today's game, 1:35, a big game, big game. Sanchez on the mound. You are listening to the Baseball Insider Show presented by BCWSA. We are live from the Pines Tavern in Bristol, PA.
Generation Z members and millennials with young families. If you're looking for a great place to dine and watch all your favorite sporting events and you can't afford Center City restaurant prices, then settle back at the Pines Tavern in Bristol Borough. This is the place to take your family, including your children, for affordable, top-quality food, including their homemade meatloaf, pan-seared chicken breast, or their fish and chips, and plus many other dinner options. The Pines Tavern also has great sandwiches, like their South Philly pork or their Angus burgers. Multiple TVs to watch all your favorite sporting events, and check out their Facebook page for live entertainment. The Pines Tavern, here yesterday, here today, and proud to serve the next generation of families at the Fork in the Road at Radcliffe Street in Bristol. Open 7 days from 11:30 a.m. and Sundays from noon.
This is Tommy Greene from the 1993 National League champion Phillies. And here's the pitch. BCWSA water and sewer customers, you have a new and improved option to pay your bill that's convenient, reliable, and secure. Powered by Invoice Cloud, you can pay your bill 24/7 online, pay by text or phone, or sign up for AutoPay to avoid fees for late or missed payments. Visit bcwsa.net to sign up or for more info. That's bcwsa.net. BCWSA, proven.
Head out to Dion Square, located at South Oxford Valley and South Olds Boulevard, to get all your essentials in one place, with the following businesses ready to serve you: Pat Dion Beverages, CVS Pharmacy, Hair Cuttery, Smile Culture Dental, Biomat, Liberty Auto Tags, Pennsylvania Fine Wine and Spirits, Lee's Hoagie House, R&J Smoothies and Juices, AutoZone, and First National Bank and Trust of Newtown. Make Dion Square your one stop for all your shopping needs at South Oxford Valley Road and South Olds Boulevard in Fairless Hills.
At Penn Community Bank, we're in the business of building thriving communities. That means breaking down the barriers to home ownership, supporting fair, affordable access to housing from Philadelphia to the Lehigh Valley, like our Home Opportunity Mortgage that empowers eligible borrowers with no minimum credit score, no down payment, access to grant programs, and so much more. Visit PennCommunityBank.com/home for more details. Penn Community Bank. Here we grow. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender. Account and feature terms, restrictions, and conditions apply.
Energy costs are skyrocketing. Now's the time to upgrade your old heater and air conditioning systems to more efficient units to save on your utility bills. Harris Comfort can also handle all your propane needs, as well as providing sales and service on whole house generators. Harris Comfort is still family owned and has been serving our area for over 60 years, providing sales, service, installation, and peace of mind. Call 215-788-4596 or go to harriscomfort.com. Harris Comfort, still family and still local. With over 7,200 square feet of 200 brewers in stock at all times, Pat Dion Beverages now features 5 different flavors of their favorite slushy cocktails. You can also purchase all your wine, liquor, and other fine spirits right next door. Visit us on Facebook or online at patdionbeverages.com for upcoming events and samples from your favorite brewery or local food vendor.
We now return to the Baseball Insider Show, presented by BCWSA. Once again, here are your hosts, Phillies Director of Fun and Games, John Brazer, and former pitcher from the '93 National League champion Phillies, Tommy Greene.
All right, we are back to the Baseball Insider Show, presented by BCWSA. We're live from the Pines Tavern in Bristol, PA. I'm John Brazer, joined by my co-host Tommy Greene, and also, Tom, we got Chris Ermeray here.
He's the man. He makes it happen.
And just to let you know, the game at the Pines Tavern, if you come down to watch some football or baseball, the Pines Tavern is going to be showing the Commanders versus Giants game. Commanders versus Giants. And just to let you know, we got a for Eagles stats. It looks like A.J. Brown is out. Yeah, there's a lot of games here, but that's going to be the main. Yeah. But it looks like A.J. Brown is out for Monday Night Football. And as I mentioned,
Bohm. Smart.
Bohm is going to be is reinstated. He's in the lineup, so that is great to see. And Soto is also if he's not reinstated, he's close to being reinstated.
Yeah.
So that's good there too. So all right, Fightin' Phils, are you ready for the lineup, Tommy?
Yes, I am, pal.
All right, here's what we got for the Mets, which for some reason Lindor is back in the lineup.
Yes, he is.
So Lindor is leading off. Vientos batting second. Alonso batting third. Nemo batting fourth, J.D. Martinez batting fifth, Iglesias batting sixth, Torrens is catching, batting seventh, Taylor batting eighth, right field, Bader is batting ninth, center field. Against Christopher Sanchez, Lindor is 2 for 8, Vientos 0 for 3, Alonso's 3 for 12 with a home run, Nemo's 3 for 8, Martinez is 2 for 3, Iglesias Torrens hasn't faced him, Taylor's 0 for 2, and Bader's 1 for 2. So, not a whole lot.
Well, Sanchez throws strikes, man. He challenges.
He does,
his
and
own,
he's good at home, and he's a lefty, obviously.
Yeah.
But he's good at home. I'm feeling good about Sanchez, our chances with Sanchez.
He's been on a little bit of a roll. He's been throwing the ball well lately.
All right, their pitcher is David Peterson, who's actually had a nice, quiet season. David Peterson is a left-hander.
Yeah.
He is 9-2. With a 2.98 ERA, 1.35 WHIP, pitched 102.2 innings. So right now, leading off will be Schwarber, who's DHing. He's 1 for 9 against Peterson with 6 Ks. He's got to. Let's hope we can turn that around.
Lefty matchup
there.
So
Turner's 2 for 11 with 4 Ks. Harper, good stats. 7 for 15 with a home run against him. Castellanos, good stats, 3 for 5. Bohm, good stats, 4 for 16 with 2 home runs against him. Real Muto, 3 for 12. Wilson. So we got Schwarber leading off, DH. Turner batting second, shortstop. Harper batting third, first base. Castellanos cleanup, right field. Bohm batting fifth, third base. Real Muto catching, batting sixth. Weston Wilson in the lineup, being a righty, playing left field. Hasn't faced Peterson. Buddy Kennedy playing second base. They're giving Stott a rest with lefty on lefty. So they're putting Buddy Kennedy at second base. Hasn't faced him. And then, again, Rojas being a righty, putting him in center field, batting ninth. He's had 2 at-bats against him. So, again, that's Schwarber, Turner, Harper, Castellanos, Bohm, Real Muto, Wilson, Kennedy, Rojas. Tommy, what's your thoughts for today's game?
Well, hey, we got to keep doing what we've been doing and fighting there. We've been fighting and finding ways to do things. Unsung heroes have showed up. I mean, the guy hadn't been in the lineup lately. Might be the guy. It'd be a good Bohm would be a good guy to come get find one of them gaps with a big hit like he tends to do.
Wouldn't that be nice?
That would be nice. Push around a couple runs, push across. So that's my thing. It's just pitching. We got to stay solid. Sanchez, if he stays where he's at, I mean, it's tough not to give up any runs, but to just be as consistent as he has been as far as attacking the zone, and we'll be okay.
Well, and again, he keeps the ball low.
Yeah.
Right? He throws strikes. He's got multiple pitches.
Yeah.
He's a different pitcher. I mean, he's a completely different pitcher than – I mean, last year he was good.
Yeah.
But he's literally taken 3 steps this year. I mean, where he just – he's – you know,
his confidence and stuff has been there. And, I mean, his record doesn't show how well he's pitched either. He's, 10-9? I mean, he could easily be a lot better than that, dude.
I mean, at the playoffs started –
he's just had a couple games where his ERA got where it was at, but most of the time he's kept us right there all year.
If the playoffs started today, he's my number 3 pitcher.
Oh, God, yeah.
Right?
Yeah, now.
And then
Suarez, I'm hoping his last couple out, hopefully his last couple he's got, he gets on that swing, and that way you've got multiple things that can happen.
Sure.
Because we've used Suarez out of the pen before coming in leverage situations and stuff like he did in the postseason. So
and
saw how he can
and maybe in a short series you have Suarez coming out of the pen, right?
Yeah.
Because he's done that as well. All right, as I mentioned, the Phillies have an 8-game lead over the Mets and Atlanta. So they're battling it out for that last wild card spot. But again, they're not too far behind San Diego and Arizona as well. So they are. It's going to be really tough. Now here's the schedule for the Fighting Phils. The Mets today, and then we go to Milwaukee for a really key. If we take 2 or 3, we can almost just put away the Brewers and lock up one of those. If we go 3 for 3, we're completely locking it down. We go 1 for 3, we're still in it, but we got our work cut out. We're going to be in a dogfight. So 3 games against the Brewers. Then we got 4 games against the Mets. And then we come back home. We have a Cubs for a quick 3-game series.
The end of the season at home.
And then we at home. And then we have that Thursday off. And then we close in D.C. with the Nationals on the 27th, 28th, and 29th.
Yeah.
So, again, these next 7 games will tell us a lot about what's going on with the Fighting Phils. Yeah. All right. So, Tommy, that wraps up today's Baseball Insider Show, presented by BCWSA, live from the Pines Tavern in Bristol, PA. Thanks to the good folks here at the Pines Tavern for hosting us today. Great soup. I love the new, little mustard mix. Thanks to my co-host, Tommy Greene, our on-site engineer, Chris Hermer. Back in the studio, Brooks St. Ives will be back next Sunday here at the Pines Tavern from 12 to 1 before the Phillies take on the Mets. Now, the game that night is 7 o'clock, but we're going to do a 12 to 1 show here before the Eagles game.
Yep.
Until then, have a great week. And as the late, great Harry the K says,
we're out of here.
You're listening to 1490 WBCB and on your FM dial at 107.